You got questions, we've got answers. Just ask Kenan. What's happening, everybody? Kenan here, and it is Saturday morning. Time for another Ask Kamp Kenan question. Today's question comes from Diane Taylor. And she asked, how can she tell if her Burmese mountain tortoise's shell is starting to pyramid? She says she has one that is smooth, but the other one's ridges are starting to get raised. So I figured, why not walk on over to my Burmese mountain tortoises and perhaps help allay any fears she might be having. So the first one I want to look at is this guy right here. So this tortoise right here. The first thing you got to know about Burmese mountain tortoises is these guys are very hard to pyramid. They are, their scutes stay pretty flat. So you've really got to be screwing up their diet and their husbandry, or growing them too quick to make them pyramid. But this one here was kept in a very dry area before I got it. And so these scutes right here, as you can see, were starting to raise, not pyramiding, but there was definitely some abnormal or strange growth. But as you can see, the new growth here is nice and smooth. This is fine, guys. This doesn't bother me in the least. This is a healthy tortoise. I don't want you to get overly concerned with pyramiding or if their shells are growing different, as long as you don't have a tortoise that is immobile or its bones aren't growing properly and the animal can't move around on its own. In fact, look at this. This one here is kind of concave. Do you see that? It's a little bit concaved right there. So that just goes to show you just how tortoise shells grow. And guys, also remember this, tortoises are like people. They're going to have different bodies, even though they're the same species. This is Burmese black mountain tortoise. These guys are going to have variations between the two. So you might have one that grows smooth, but the other one, it's just got the DNA to make the ridges a little bit more pronounced and so on. Now let me go find the big gal. Hopefully she's out and about, because she's interesting too. And here she is. Check this out. Now this one here, this tortoise right here has a similar situation as the other. See these? See how they're separated here? It's almost like you could peel this off. But this was because the animal was kept, in my opinion, too dry. But you can see that new growth, right? Perfect. So eventually this will wear down and so on. But here, look at this gal. Now she has something similar, but you see these ridges? Again, this was just because the animal, I believe, wasn't kept moist enough. And as you can see today, it's very moist, and they've got some mango they're eating here. But this is as close to a pyramided mountain tortoise as I've ever seen. This is my female. It's a nice, lovely gal, and she's definitely healthy, growing up well. You just kind of have to accept it. But as for you, Diane, what I would do is make sure they have enough humidity. Don't overfeed them, and make sure they are fed the proper diet. So that's what I would say to you for your tortoise. Don't be too alarmed. Sometimes they look a little different, even if they're the same species. As long as that care is optimal, they're going to grow up and be healthy. So I hope I've answered your question. Lovely tortoise here as they're eating the mangoes that fall from the trees. It's a great time of year to be a mountain tortoise in my property, because it's wet and there's plenty of fruit, and if I'm not careful, she's gonna bite me. All right, everybody, we'll talk to you soon on another Ask Kamp Kenan episode. But don't forget, tomorrow we have a bonus video, and every Tuesday, new episodes of Kamp Kenan. Talk to you soon.